Welcome to Explain America. I'm your host, Kyle Becker. Now, the Epstein case has been drawing headlines for months, and suddenly the Democrats have been interested in what happened. Obviously, any normal American cares about what happened, but this sudden interest in the Trump administration and these Epstein files, well, one of the attorneys who's been deeply involved in this case for a long time says, it's not the Trump administration that's covering this up. But before we get into this, please like, share, and comment Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Alan Dershowitz is a Harvard professor emeritus who has taught law there and has been a representative, a defense attorney for Epstein in the past. His name has been dropped multiple times. There's no hard evidence that he did anything wrong, but there's been a lot of rumors and innuendo that he is involved somehow in this case. Well, he knows it almost as well as anybody now who's in the legal profession. And he says that it's really the judges who are up in New York who are withholding information on Epstein, who was a financier and a convicted sex offender in this case. So this squares a lot with what we were seeing from Southern District of New York, Maureen Comey, obviously James Comey's daughter, who is involved, obviously, not just in the Ghislaine Maxwell case, but also with the Diddy case. And there have been those are two debacles because we never really got to see the evidence from Maxwell. Maxwell herself, before she was recently in talks with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche for about 9 hours recently, before she was transferred to a prison in Texas, which they call Club Fed. But she apparently was never seriously questioned about it. And that really tells you something, doesn't it? Nobody really wanted to get to the bottom of what was going on with Epstein, and that's really amazing. Well, let's take a look at a media report that gives us a sense of the hush-hush about this story.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
And the other thing about this story that is really concerning is that the media continues to spread smears and innuendo about Trump. Well, we know that Maxwell said she never saw any concerning behavior from Trump. Virginia Giuffre, who was depositioned in the past, also said she never saw anything from Trump. And guess what? He never flew on the Lolita Express. This is a misunderstanding. He went from New York to West Palm Beach on approximately 7 trips. Melania was with him for a good number of all those trips, and even their kids on a few occasions. So it's absolutely just a false smear job. Trump's DOJ is the one who actually went after Epstein on federal charges back in 2019 and went after Maxwell a few years later. But the question is, where are the documents that we were told were on Pam Bondi's desk? We're still trying to get to the bottom of this, but Dershowitz suggests strongly that the judges up in New York are the ones who are the holdup. Direct some of your attention to them, I suppose, is his message. And the Southern District of New York, man, it is a sewer, and we really need to do something about our high-profile cases going to some of the most questionable kangaroo courts in the country, because the D.C. Circuit Court, absolute mess. SDNY is also politicized. And we can't continue to have our most important cases go through these completely just absolutely fixed courts. And we need real transparency about what's happening in this country. And we're probably not going to get this from New York or from DC. So thank you for watching Explain America. Please weigh in with your thoughts about this. Do you think that the judges are to blame in this case? I think that there's a lot to be said about that if you read the trial transcripts and the way that they've put a lot of this information under lock and key. So thank you for watching.